It's okay, because you're going to cut anyhow.
Oh, there's the camera. Sorry, I was like,
Do you want to start to introduce yourself?
Yeah.
We are a master in interior architecture, but we basically do not focus on the interior of buildings. So for us, interior architecture is much more than the inside of a building. It is all the space that people as users relate to directly. So that's what we study. And within that, we focus on urgent issues, cultural issues, societal issues basically. We open a context for a student to explore. What are the conditions? What are the issues? What are the specificities of this context? And then the student decides how she or he relates to that as a spatial change designer.
Maybe in contrast to other interior architecture masters, I think what is really nice that we have this freedom and there's no boxes to tick off of make this model stay in this scale, work with this certain environment. So it's really your opinion and perspective on the world, either inside or outside, that then becomes something else.
Our program in the first year is structured within 3 studios, consecutive studios, that scale up. You start with your own space, a studio inter. Then you scale up to the architectural space, the space that other people use. And the final studio is it's called Urban, and that's about our space. And through that exploration, you will find your own position within that.
I think one of the biggest reasons why I applied was the kind of freer nature to the study. And we all kind of are in this stage of, we like where we're going and we're all very passionate about design, but we're not exactly sure in what context or how or why yet. And I think this course really sets you upgrade to explore this in a very free way. We're currently doing our Studio 1, and everybody is really able to take a completely different approach, pull from different disciplines, and really make the studio your own or your project your own. And I think that's what's quite unique about this course.
well, in class we have different teachers with all different backgrounds and insights, and we all have another act of doing, an act of teaching, tutoring students. And I think therefore it's very individual takes. So an architect has another kind of questioning, another kind of language than a designer as I have. And therefore it differentiates, but I think it's honest to the field in that sense, to have these differences and these characteristics in it. And I think it has a lot to do with learning the different kind of languages used in the spatial field, and meaning languages, meaning really words, but also titles, but also languages meaning shape, the attention to detailing.
In the second year, students do their own project, and they start by defining their own design culture. What did they take from the different design cultures they met in the first year, and how do they assemble their own approach from that? So that's always a work in progress. That is never finished. That is not something you do in half a day. So students start with that, researching their context, their topic. It can be somewhere around here, but it can also be in the countries they come from, or in other situations. They explore, they find the issues there, and they develop a brief for themselves of what they don't want to research. And all tutors around it, they guide them towards that.
I mean, because I really like to write, and I didn't know how to make this a design media, but in the end I managed to. And also, just to follow up what you also said, that the end result can also not be really like about physical spaces themselves. I worked for my final project on policy making, starting from a spatial perspective and a spatial understanding of things. So that's just to say that you can really as far as you find your own way of using the media from a spatial angle and with a spatial perspective, then it's really interesting.
I think what's also quite nice in our studios is there's often more of a peer group setting, so you can really kind of get ideas from other people, see what they're doing in their projects. So there's a kind of a feedback system, both from a tutor perspective as well as peer feedback, which is really nice.
We use a lot of field research. There we go out and experience countries or also environments, different kind of spaces, and the politics of them.
Well, research is not a specific thing. Research is in everything. There's design research, there's exploration that we care about a lot, traveling, going to places, not only look at the theoretical side, but to visit places, see places, experience places, and through that explore and find out what the issues are within the context. Of course, there's material research, there's technical research techniques, and there's reading and writing.
Yeah, so each year we have one big travel, which lasts about a week, so that we really have time to get to know a space for a longer period of time and not go there in the morning, come back in the evening, and that's it. But when everything is new, you notice the most everyday things and routines and discover if there's a potential somewhere or there's something you would like to change.
Spatial change is embedded within society. You cannot separate these. It's not about how space will look like in the end, but about understanding how space changes, what the spatial impact is of societal issues, of societal problems, cultural urgencies, for instance, inclusivity, diversity, but also climate change, reusing of material, things like that. They all influence the way you explore a situation, and through that how you position yourself towards that.
It's kind of nearly a culture of insiders, which have with alumni and a long years of connections have still a long connection within the department. I think there's this some kind of soft familiarity along insiders, and I think that's also attracting me to teach here for so long.